Enjoy real value online with TM Pick and Pay Click and Collect. It's time for the news.
Welcome to the main news on a Thursday. I'm Justin Mahlahla. We are joined by Piswe Jomunyika at the Sign Language Desk.
And I'm Tari Romanamiki with Sibukele Maposa at our Montrose studios. We now give you the news headlines.
President Emmerson Mnangagwa rules out seeking to go beyond his second and final term in office.
The Second Republic commissions a multi-million-dollar baobab fruit juice and water plant in Mutare.
In business, mining and manufacturing sectors target consolidating production gains.
And in sport, Zimbabwe face giants Cameroon in a tricky Group J following a 2025 AFCON qualifiers draw held today.
Those are the headlines. We now get into the stories in detail. President Emmerson Mnangagwa says he will not run for the presidency after the expiry of his current 5-year term in 2028.
He was addressing thousands of people who came to witness the commissioning of a baobab fruit juice and water processing plant in Mutare this Thursday.
President Comrade Emmerson Mnangagwa is a trained lawyer who adheres to the dictates of the Constitution. On several occasions, he held the portfolios of Justice Minister. He was also a Speaker of Parliament, Vice President of the Republic, apart from being at the helm of several ministries like Finance, Defense, Rural Housing, to mention but a few. Addressing thousands at Mutare Teachers College, Comrade Mnangagwa said he is an ardent follower of the party's constitution.
ZANU-PF constitution yedu inotiyo after every 5 years tunaenda ku Congress. Tunaenda ku Congress ikoko tosarza president wedu. President wedu anafana matema mawili 5 years. Inda kaja 5 years okutenga ikapera tikana Congress mukanidzorera. So ndakuita my last 5 years. Chapera manje. Ndenda kunozorora. Toenda ku Congress motsvaka umwe anotungamira achitevedzera tsoka dzangu. Mazviwa? Mazuva angu okuzorora pedo. Chaenda kunozorora, toenda ku Congress motsvaka anotevedza tsoka dzangu dzamunhu mutapa. Mazvinzwa? Ndakuruma inzeve.
Over the past few years, the country's currency was collapsed by those who sought to effect a regime change, hence the introduction of the basket of currencies that are still in place today. Now the Second Republic has brought in the Zimbabwe gold, ZiG currency, and this is our pride as a country and the way to go.
Tinoda kuti vanhu vedu tichitanga kuva nepfungwa yokushandisa ZiG, not US dollar. Saka isituse ZANU-PF hatingati toramba chimhanya nemari yevanhu vasingatidi. Vane zuva ravangangota zvavanganoita tikashakwi. Saka tava neZiG Zimbabwe gold currency yedu yatiri kusumudza. Munonzwa pa TV yedu pa ZiG yedu, ZiG 1, ZiG 2. Makazvonaka? Imari yedu yoyo ndeyata kusumudza kuti in 2 years munomu, in fact 2 years kure, tichasvika pokuti kana ndavona ini kuti aiwa ZiG yapinda kose kose, makoini yapinda kose kose, mari dukwane change yapinda kose kose, ndozoti naiwa nguva yasvika yekuti nyika ino yakungoshandisa ZiG. tichasvika ipapo. Kana ukaenda kuchitoro una ma-US vokurambira.
He said the sanctions albatross on our necks by some Western countries has led our people to think out of the box. Hence, more and more products are being manufactured here. Unity and hard, honest work are the hallmarks or ingredients to develop our country, said the head of state. Ruben Barrow, SADC News, Mutare.
And still in Mutare, the president says the Education 5.0 model is a masterstroke in government's efforts to use tertiary education institutions to drive industrialization in the country. He commissioned a baobab fruit juice and water processing plant at Mutare Teachers College, and Chief Correspondent Ruben Barwe gives us another report.
Mutare Teachers College was established in 1956 as a teachers training college by the then federal government of the Rhodesias and Nyasaland. Little did they know that 68 years down the line, the college could be one of the first non-university colleges to produce some of the goods adoring supermarkets across the country and the beauty parlors. The President, Comrade Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, accompanied by the Vice President, General Retired Dr. Constantino Guvea Chiwenga, several cabinet ministers, senior government officials, commissioned the baobab juice manufacturing plant and water processing at the campus in Mutare. He then saw the processing plant in action, producing baobab muyu drink, oil and other detergents from abundant fruit found in the drier parts of the Manicaland province. The President, Comrade Mnangagwa, spoke on his impressions on the development.
Focus under the new approach to education 5.0 is that all our institutions of higher learning, these could be universities, these could be polytechnics, all education institutions, they must produce students who either are engaged in the production of services and products or teaching students to produce services or products. But to do so, they must be exemplary by having factories at institutions of learning where they can practically learn how to process our domestic fruits in the country. I've been told that this is mawuyu, but this is now it has been. I've seen where mawuyu are separated. The powder going one way, the seeds going one way. The process of the seeds is another line. The processing of the powder goes different way until you have this drink now produced. Now they can also do with other fruits like avocado. They said. Bananas, they mentioned pineapples, they can produce all those things here. In the past, we had to go elsewhere to produce drinks for our country. Just this factory alone, or this fish alone, they are able to produce more than 5 different products from our own fruits grown in this area in Manicaland province. And it's not the end. So many possibilities now are coming up for our people in this area.
The baobab seed is the one producing the oil, and the remnants are producing stock feed. And the engineering feed to put up the plant is a Verifier Engineering, the gas people.
Verifier Engineering is the mother of all inventions in the area. So the possibilities that are opening as the brief was being given by our people here shows that in another 2 years, I don't think we shall have anything to import in terms of food production in the country, in terms of drinks or oils or creams, whatever. The possibilities are galore. I'm so happy that our teachers, science teachers, they have grasped the vision of the Second Republic, where we want to use things that are domestic in our country. We have sanctions in Zimbabwe, and we are constrained to do what our countries are doing. So we must look internally to make sure we create comfort to satisfy the needs of our people on the basis of what we have in our country. And this is an example of what we are doing now.
So it all began in Menezi district with the Marura plant, Mutoko vegetable fruit processing plant near Mutoko, the Masau plant in Mashonaland Central, and many other products and services that are being produced in various tertiary institutions. And more institutions have taken to Heritage Best Education 5.0, like ducks to water. Ruben Barba, ZBC News, Mutare.
The establishment of the fruit juice and water processing plant at Mutare Teachers College has been described as a I beg your pardon. The establishment of the fruit juice and water processing plant at Mutare Teachers College has been described as a significant milestone and exhibition of inventiveness of the local people in driving industrialization. We get more details from the following story.
The fruit juice and water processing plant presents opportunities for people of Manicaland province, which is rich in baobab fruit, to feed the production supply chain that is delivering beverages, detergents, and liquid organic fertilizer, among others. Through government funding of over $1 million United States, the facility has unlocked employment opportunities for close to 200 people.
We want to be able to empower rural communities. For a start, we are focusing on the Shiazwa area, Beshinaf area, Boera, and parts of Chipinge and Shimanimani to collect the baobab fruit. So far, the government and ministry have injected about $1.4 million into this project. After this launch now, we are going to submit our budget for the official commercialization.
The plant dovetails with the overall vision of government to promote scientific development.
This is a movement of liberation. It's a movement of emancipation. It's a sign of Chimurenga Chepfungwa. We thank you, Your Excellency, for Heritage Best Education 5.0, which is an education system that is causing innovation for industrialization. Our education is now the intermediary between our heritage, zvatakapiwa naMwari, and the fulfillment of our human needs. Nokuti tinoshandisa chete zvatakapiwa naMwari, toshandisa njere dzedu pazviri kuti tikwanise kuproduce zvatinoda.
The investment is expected to promote further developments in the province.
The plan signifies the significant progress in harnessing and unlocking value from our natural resources for economic development and job creation. A clear affirmation of the success of one of your many policies, Heritage-Based Education 5.0.
Apart from processing the baobab fruit to beverages, there are plans to value-add several other fruits that include majanje and bananas. Similar processing plants have been established in Mzarabani, where there is a Masau processing plant, as well as the Mapfura plant in Mwenezi. Wellington Makonese, ZBC News, Mutare.
Preparations are well on course as the country prepares to host the 44th SADC Heads of State and Government Summit.
With Harare representing a large industrial site owing to massive infrastructure projects, preparations for the annual meeting during which Zimbabwe will assume chairship are well on course. During a meeting with other cabinet ministers ahead of the Indaba this Thursday in Harare, Foreign Affairs and International Trade Minister Ambassador Frederick Shawa said everyone needs to play their part to make sure the hosting is a success.
Zimbabwe will host the 44th ordinary session of SADC, Heads of State and Government, from the 7th to the 19th of August 2024 at the venue, our new venue, the new Parliament building. The SADC Summit will be held under the theme Promoting Innovation to Unlock Opportunities for Sustained Economic Growth and Development towards an industrialized SADC. During the summit, we'll assume the chairmanship of the SADC of SADC on the 17th of August 2024. This year's summit is also significant in that it includes visits by heads of state and government to Geopomona Waste Management Facility, and also a visit to the Museum of African Liberation on August 18, 2024. In order to successfully host this important meeting, there is need, therefore, to ensure that we are all aware and well prepared, well equipped in terms of protocol.
Zimbabwe will take over as chair of the regional body from Angola, with issues of enhancing regional integration, peace and security being part of the summit's agenda. Olina Ndori, ZBC News, Harare.
Local contractors have commended the government for its preparedness and investments in infrastructural development ahead of the SADC meeting.
Left before Zimbabwe hosted the SADC summit at the new parliament building in Mount Hampden, all hands are on deck to deliver a flawless and historic event that showcases the nation's diplomatic prowess and hospitality. The developments have been welcomed by progressive citizens, including contractors in the roads construction sector.
The government is doing a very good job in doing all the preparations, and mostly when it comes to the roads, they are doing a great work.
Tinoda kutenda hurumende yedu nekuti iyo gadziriro idzodzidzi dzaita kuti tuwane mabasa akawanda and zvaita kuti vana veZimbabwe vavane mabasa ekushanda.
Fesi yedu yajekeswa, Zimbabwe yanakiswa. Munhu wese ari kuya muZimbabwe achiona zvinhu zviri kuitika izvi achataura zvisina basa pamusoro peZimbabwe. Zimbabwe yatoo number one.
The reviews that complementary infrastructure development is underway, including a dedicated 12.8 kilometer high capacity 11 kilovolt power line and a network of roads. Peter Chivima, ZBC News, Harare.
Government's mantra of leaving no one and no place behind is bearing fruit following the commissioning of a new school in Murewa thanks to the devolution program.
The establishment of Mapukutu Secondary School, which was commissioned this Wednesday, has been welcomed by locals whose children have been traveling for up to 10 kilometers to the nearest schools.
Chekutanga ndoda kuti nditende hurumende ya Mnangagwa nekuti ibatsira kwavakaita kuburikidza nedevolution. Vana vedu vangu vachifamba makilometers akawanda.
Tachikumbirawo futi maticha nekuda kuti techiti kana vedu vana vedu vaya padhuze kudai ngawachidzidza zvakaraudzira.
Murewa West Legislator Honorable Farai Jere and Murewa RDC Chairperson Alderman Amos Gutu said the development is a clear testimony of government's desire to transform lives of its people.
Uyu muono unoshamisa ende muono watinofanira kutenda kuti chinhu chakadai chikaitwa munzvimbo dzedu dzese dzemuno muZimbabwe dzichiitwa seizvozvizvi nedzimwe nzvimbo dzakasaririra dziya dzekuti vana vanofanira kufamba makilometers akaita sei, chinhambwe chakaita sei kuti vasvike pachikoro.
Chatinoda kutenda zvakanyanya, tinoda kutenda hurumende yedu inova iri kutungamirwa nababa vaMnangagwa. Wakaona kuti makommunity medu muri kusaririra kwazviri kuita zvinoda intervention yehurumende.
Government says it wants development to reach all corners of the country, including marginalized communities.
Chinangwa chehurumende ndechekuti pasawane ani zvake anosara. Ndaitave ndichiti Mapukutu Secondary School iyi ndicho chezvimwe zvikoro zvizhinji zvavakwa pari zvino kubudikidza nedevolution mumatunhu ose ari masere muprovince.
The school has an enrollment of 130 students from Form 1 to 4 and is part of 6 schools constructed by Murewa RDC using council and devolution funds. Gerald Sasa, ZBC News, Murewa.
Zimbabwe has received a $32 million United States war chest to cushion at least 500,000 households from the El Nino-induced drought. This is through an insurance payout from the Africa Risk Capacity.
A milestone to fighting the negative impact of the severe El Nino-induced drought in the country, the massive $16 million paycheck to the government of Zimbabwe, a further $6 million United States to the World Food Programme, and close to $9 million to Start Network, presents a huge safety net for the country to protect families affected by the erratic rains experienced in the 2023-2024 agricultural season. The occasion bears testament to anticipatory action assumed by government to fund insurance that will become vital to respond to the vicious disasters caused by climate change. On behalf of government, Finance and Economic Development Minister Professor Mthuli Ncube stated the payout is a critical fortification against hunger to cover 27 vulnerable districts across the country.
This ceremony marks a monumental occasion in our endeavors to mitigate the negative impacts of drought and to solidify our nation's resilience against climate-induced adversities. The ARC payout therefore complements government's efforts in ensuring food security, and the immediate response is crucial for the resilience of our communities, ensuring that no household will suffer from hunger.
In collaboration with global humanitarian partners and financial institutions, the payout will support targeted communities who benefit from key resilience programs.
And the timely support will enable us to provide essential food assistance and prevent negative coping mechanisms, ensuring that vulnerable populations can withstand these difficult circumstances. And I'm happy to inform you that we will be able to support more than 200,000 people in 3 districts with the availability of the ARC payout.
There is scope to expand participation in ARC risk financing mechanism, urging the ratification of the ARC Treaty by the government of Zimbabwe and other governments, and showcase the efficacy of collaboration among all stakeholders involved.
In view of projections of future effects of climate change on agricultural yields for the Southern African region, the Africa Risk Capacity says insurance and risk layering is vital to protect nations.
While extreme weather disasters cause net setbacks, ARC Group's interventions provide a cushion to enable quick recovery and continued progress. Beneficiaries bounce back on track much faster.
This is the second time Zimbabwe has received an insurance payout from the Africa Risk Capacity after this first one was signed off in 2020. The insurance payouts assist governments to support affected populations quickly, helping them rebuild and recover from the effects of drought. Theophilus Chuma, ZBC News, Harare.
Government is tightening measures to protect children from sexual exploitation, with the Criminal Law Codification Amendment Bill now at an advanced stage of being passed into law.
Debating the 32nd session of the Junior Parliament held in Mount Hamden this Wednesday brought to the fore various topical issues that government is addressing. One topical issue is child sexual exploitation, with government indicating that alignment of laws to the Constitution is underway.
That bill led to say that it's a sale through the National Assembly, and it has been transmitted to the Senate. It is going to cater specifically to those issues, to bring in severe penalties for those that have sexual intercourse with our young children. If you infect them with an STI, the punishment will be even severe.
Government is also accelerating on improving schools' infrastructure to ensure learners do not walk more than 5 kilometers to access the nearest school.
The government has deliberately allocated funds towards construction of schools so that the distance that learners walk should not exceed 5 kilometers according to international conventions and treaties.
Meanwhile, Treasury says it will be funding innovations by the youths through the National Venture Capital Fund.
We've increased the coordination between the Ministry of Youth Empowerment, Vocational Training Colleges, and the Ministry of Finance through our National Venture Capital Company. As of the 1st of July, we have now employed a fully substantive CEO for this venture fund. What this venture fund will do, the Excellency, Madam Junior Speaker, is to fund innovations coming from young people. His Excellency has a vision that those who have ideas, those who have dreams, be allowed to see those dreams come to commercialization so that they can also profit and make money from those dreams.
The Minister of Local Government and Public Works indicated that there will be a school feeding program in all the schools in the wake of the El Nino-induced drought. John Nandara, ZBC News, Mount Abden.
Vulnerable communities in Mashonaland East Province are the latest to benefit from the First Lady, Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa's philanthropic works of providing warmth and comfort to people in need during this winter season.
Effort to extend warmth and support to those in need, First Lady Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa, who is also patron of the Angel of Hope Foundation, handed over blankets, winter jackets, and groceries to vulnerable members of the community drawn from all districts of Mashonaland East Province. Scores of people from the province thronged St. Paul's Musami High School, where they benefited from Amai's philanthropic works. Through a philanthropic arm, Angel of Hope Foundation, Amai Mnangagwa always extends her hand to vulnerable groups, meeting them at their points of need. It was all joy as the needy, including persons with disabilities, the elderly, and child-headed families, received blankets and an assortment of groceries comprising maize meal, sugar, rice, cooking oil, and salt from the mother of the nation. Dr. Mnangagwa also donated traditional grains to all those in attendance. As she continues to instill in the nation the importance of reaching out to those in need, particularly the elderly, Dr. Mnangagwa is embarking on a countrywide program to provide essential winter wear to vulnerable communities so that they are protected from the cold weather. She stressed the importance of the family unit, rallying parents to be exemplary to their children by loving, respecting, and caring for their relatives.
Kana kugara kwedu kusina kumira zvakanaka mukati memba imba iri imwe chete yoyo zvichabuda mumba imomo zvonobata imba iri pa next door yepa next door yosumudzirawo yoendawo pa next door zvabvapo zvakutandira mucommunity zvabva mucommunity zvakuenda muprovince zvabva muprovince yezvo zvava munyika saka tinoda kutanga tagadzira pazviri kutangira pamhuri pakugara kwatiri kuita semhuri baba amai mwana mukomana mwana musikana nemuroora azouya nemukwasha auya ndiyo mhuri yacho naye isu kuchivanhu chedu tinoziva tine yatinoti muchirungu extended families maextended family aya ndeedu kana muchiziva muchirangarira ndeyekuti vana mbuya vanogara uko vana baba mukuru vakatamira kuDarwin asi vari vekuno dziri hama dzedu vana tete vakawanikwa kumasvingo asi vari vemudzinza redu ivavo vose ndo maextended families edu atofanira kunge tichizivana kuti vari kupi vakazodini mhuri dzavo dziri kupi.
During an interactive session, Dr. Mnangagwa sought to know the causes of disintegration of the family unit and the reasons behind rivalry between in-laws.
Mwana anoda kuwana ngaunganirweka nemhuri yekwake. Vana tete vana sekuru mumira kamotora basa renyu kurayira mwana akuenda kana mwana ari kuuya kuti zvinofamba sei naye ndizvo zvichiri kuitika here izvozvo.
Isu tinozonzwa kunzi muzukuru akatizira asina mbuya tinenge ndiripo kare isusu tichiziva taziva kuti mwana akanga ane mukomana aiuya kwa tete aiuya kwa mbuya yezvine zvanza mbuya kana watembera wane mafinya kumeso hanza mbuya vanoroya vakuwasha vari kuchengeta anonzi mbuya chete ndovekumusha kwomukadzi vanonzi asekuru ndokumusha kwomukadzi kumusha kwake hachengete vabereki vake.
The mouth of the nation also drew attention to the negative effects of drug abuse and moral decay among youngsters, imploring everyone to contribute in combating the scourge. Commenting on some of the vices being perpetrated by young children, Amai Mnangagwa lamented the rise in pregnancies among young girls in communities. Some elderly women gave reasons contributing to the worrying trend during an interactive session.
Mwana ane 9 years akazvara mwana wacho anga ane 4 kgs akatakurwa nemwana ane 9 years. Ndobva tati vana mbuya tatowana mbuya vokuita vazukuru vazvarwa navana.
Vana vasekuru havachachawanda, kwaane mashuga teti vari kuita zvechiwande zvivana amai tisingazive. Mwana ane makore 5 akuziva zvinoitwa naamai nababa handiti. Asi sei vana vashirana nevana yavo igakuya vavo tiripo. Ino handichisida murume vakusekuru vakafa asi kuda kurara nemwana ane 8 years mba.
The event also saw elderly members of the community establishing committees that would teach young children good moral values through the popular Nangagwa Taikliva program, which Amai Mnangagwa introduced across the country. The First Lady engaged the newly appointed committees on what is expected of them. Chaplain Christine Piri from the Zimbabwe Prisons and Correctional Services rallying point was for churches to preach love and promote unity among families.
Regai kuabuse vana vadiki vasara vasina vabereki. Siyanai nezvinamato zvinokuparadzanisai ukama. Siyanai nezvose zvinoita kuti vana venyu vazotadza kuchengetwa imimi musisipo. Baba mukuru ngavazivikanwe. My Guru Ngavadi.
Bulawayo Best Arts Ensemble, ESA, showcased a play on the need to take care of the vulnerable, especially during this winter season.
Winter is upon us. Share a blanket. Share home clothing. Save a soul.
Take care of the elderly and the disabled.
Mashonaland East Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Honorable Aplonia Mjerengwi, expressed gratitude to the First Lady for her dedication and commitment to support the most vulnerable.
Harisi basa ra mai vega asi kana vatiparura vativhurawo pfungwa kuti rangarirai vamugere navo, varangarirai vakwegura, rangarirai vanorwara, nesuwo kumatunhu kwatiri ngatiitei semucherechedzo wekuti amai vanotitungamirira vachitidzidzisa kurangarira vamwe vedu vatinogara navo.
Beneficiaries thanked Amai for her benevolence and for sharing with them important life lessons. In his vote of thanks, Mambo Mangwende gave plaudits to Amai Mnangagwa for her sterling works. First Lady Dr. Mnangagwa continues to leave no stone unturned in providing the much-needed hope to the less privileged across the country. Colette Msanyera, ZBC News, Msami.
We have these and other stories on our website at www.zbcnews.co.zw. You can also check our social media handles at on Facebook, X, as well as YouTube, and on our WhatsApp channel. We're at ZBC News Online.
And now for stories still to come in this bulletin. Mining and manufacturing target consolidating production gains. Zimbabwe faced giants Cameroon in a tricky Group J following a 2025 AFCON qualifiers draw held today. On that note, we take a break, but stay with us. We'll be right back.
This is the currency we've been waiting for. A currency that's not just paper and coins, but a symbol of Zimbabwe's rich resources and stability. That's Zimbabwe Gold. This is ZIG. Let's dive into what makes ZIG not just a new currency, but a new beginning for Zimbabwe's economy. ZIG is born out of a blend of traditional and innovative financial wisdom, anchored in gold and precious metals, along with foreign currency reserves. This backing isn't just for show, it's a promise of stability and trust, ensuring that ZIG's value is as solid as the gold it's pegged to. From the bustling markets of Harare to the serene landscapes of rural Zimbabwe, ZIG is set to become the medium of exchange that's both reliable and accessible, with denominations ranging from ZIG 200 to ZIG 1 and even handy coins. It caters to every transaction, big or small. Transitioning to ZIG is a breeze. It's all about inclusivity, ensuring no one is left behind in Zimbabwe's financial renaissance. ZIG doesn't walk alone. It co-circulates with other foreign currencies under Zimbabwe's multi-currency system, enriching our financial landscape. It's a legal tender that not only simplifies transactions, but also restores confidence in our economy, promising a future where stability and growth go hand in hand. So why ZIG? Because it's more than just money. It's a symbol of Zimbabwe's resilience, a step towards an economy where stability is the norm, and every Zimbabwean can look forward to a prosperous future. Welcome to the era of Zimbabwe Gold, where our currency is our pride.
We at St. Augustine College, a Catholic co-educational day and boarding school in Blawayo, invite you to an informative open day and Form 1 entrance test on the 12th of July 2024. Come and discover why we could be the ideal next step in your child's educational journey. The entrance test will commence at 8 a.m. and the open day at 10 a.m. Get in touch with us on staugustine.admin@zcbc.co.zw.
His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa, will officiate the Zimbabwe Irrigation Investment Conference to be held on Friday, 5 July 2024 at the Harare International Conference Center, HICC, under the theme, Public-Private Partnerships for Sustainable and Structured Irrigation Financing to Deliver Food Security Everywhere, Every Day. The conference starts at 8:30 a.m. Under the National Accelerated Irrigation Facility and Development Program. The country is targeting to put at least 350,000 hectares of cereals by 2025. The ministry is calling upon financial institutions, donor communities, line ministries and departments, UN agencies, non-governmental organizations, the private sector and academia to participate in this drive as we thrive towards the attainment of Vision 2030. Nyika inovakwa nevenevayo, ilizwe lakhiwa ngabanikazi balo. For more information, get in touch on numbers appearing on the screen.
That's it. The regular football season is over.
What?
Yes, it's over.
Oh no!
But not for us here at Supersport. We've got a big deal coming your way.
Sorry, that's actually a pretty big deal.
Catch all 51 games of Euro 2024. Stay connected to DSTV to watch all the action on Supersport.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. In a tragic incident that has left Harare residents in shock, a 4-year-old boy from Parkview died this Wednesday after falling into an open sewer pipe.
This open sewer pipe, left unattended for close to 2 years, has become a death trap.
Playtime turned tragic when 4-year-old Kubakwashe Majoka was violently sucked into an open sewer pipe a few meters from his parents' home. A search and rescue effort that included the fire brigade and residents lasted for 2 hours before the body was recovered at the sewer outlet in Mofakose. The family of the child is traumatized.
Ndandatobudoma kusendenda ubasa. Mwananga asara nemsikana yanga wandandasira mwana. Ndichingosvika kubasa ndopandakaudzwa kuti ndosvaitika.
Mwana ndakangosara naye mazuva ese. Kwabva amuka kuseni akatoti meni ndinoda porridge ndikamupa porridge akadya. Kwabva toti ameni ndinoda kutamba panze nematoi yangu ndikati alright tamba zvako ndichitopeta hembe umbomo. Kwabva totamba anga ari pavheranda vanga vari 3 netumwe twana 2. Saka hapana kunombeta kana 2 minutes tikaona tokabva twamhanya tuchiuya zvikanzi ameni mwana aita sei adonera mvura. Ndikati kumvura kupi zvikanzi kuzasuku ndichobva ndatomhanya kutosvika hakuna mwana.
Inini ndaiwacha magumbese ndiri mubathroom. Saka twana twaitamba panze apo. Saka ndakazongoshamisa kamwana kangu kachimhanya kati mama dhala awira pai musuweji. Takabuda tikamhanya enda pasuweji pacho andambona mwana. Kuti ndiziva kuti akawira sei kana kuti chii chakaitika ndidangudi kunyepa.
The sewer pipe is one of the several unattended openings dotted around the area, with residents accusing the city of Harare of negligence.
Ngaipote ichita regular check-ups yemapipe ayo. Kuripota no reporter, but they don't take action.
My question will be, what is the standard procedure when council is doing my repairs?
Tori njodzi chaya tinayo tine vana vadiki vanotamba even akatamba bhora rake unogona kurikikira roende ikoko. No akuti ugara wakatasawa takatasawa nakatakavabata zviti taitokumbirawo vanhu vekanso kuti deva vatinzwisisawo vaya vagadzirisawo makomba iwaya.
Pakaita zvapakaita apa tinenge tichitya nekuti igomba rakashama riri padhuze nemusha.
Nawe makomba aya akawanda kubva musoro kusvika kwamazaiga tine more than 7-8.
Harare City Council Head of Corporate Communications, Mr. Stanley Gama, urged the public to report any damaged infrastructure.
We are still investigating what really happened. Why was it not attended for a long time? Because from our side, the engineers are saying it was not reported. Some residents are insisting it was reported. So we are still investigating and we will come up with the conclusion soon.
The tragic incident could have been avoided if the local authority had addressed the anomaly. Festus Mgongorese, ZBC News, Harare.
A tragedy indeed. Time now for us to cross over to our Montreal studios, and we are joined by Sibukele Maposa. Good evening, Sibukele. It's over to you.
Thank you very much, Justin. Good evening, Zimbabwe. Let's carry on with the bulletin. The 27th edition of the Mining, Engineering and Transport exhibition, Mine Intra, has been postponed. The event was initially scheduled for the 17th to the 19th of July 2024 in Bulawayo. Let's get more details.
The Zimbabwe International Trade Fair Company Board Chairperson, Mr. Busisa Moyo, confirmed the postponement of the Mining, Engineering and Transport Expo, Mine Intra, to a later date.
Consultations regarding suitable dates are underway at the highest level of government and business leadership. This is to ensure the standard of the show, depth of interactions, discussions, and interventions meet the highest standard possible. The decision to reschedule Mine Intra was made to avoid any potential conflicts with the upcoming SADC Industrialization Week, a major regional event which is being hosted in Zimbabwe and slated for July 28 to August the 2nd in Harare.
A total of 234 exhibitors have confirmed participation at the country's premier mining showcase. 220 exhibitors are local companies and 14 international exhibitors from China, South Africa, and the Democratic Republic of Congo. The rescheduled Mine Entry exhibition will therefore continue to run under the theme Unearthing Success, the Mining Value Chains, Innovation and Industrialization Nexus, and will bring together local and international industry leaders, investors and stakeholders to explore advancements and opportunities within the mining sector. Elanda Moy, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
Zimbabwe has pledged to upscale efforts to replenish and preserve its forests to sustain communities.
In an interview on the sidelines of the ongoing international conference on afforestation and reforestation in Congo-Brazzaville, the Zimbabwean Minister of Environment, Climate and Wildlife, Dr. Sthembiso Nyoni, said her ministry is upscaling preservation of forests in the country, given their benefits to the national economy.
What we are bringing here is the importance of biodiversity, because each country has got its own biodiversity which is different from the other. In Zimbabwe, we're not really focusing much on biodiversity. People will cut down trees and plant gum trees. So now we are saying, no, let's look at our biodiversity because it's there for a reason. That's why I would like the public of Zimbabwe to take very seriously the wetlands. Because the wetlands and the forests, that's where our water, underground water, is held.
A forest college in Mutare is built to be a vehicle towards capacitating communities on management of the forest resources. Among government strategies to preserve and replenish forests is scaling down on fell fire incidences and planting thousands of trees each year. Sifiso Spanda, ZBC News, Congo-Brazzaville.
The Matabeleland South Province Hybrid Diaspora Investment Conference kicked off in Beitbridge on a high note, with Zimbabweans from various economic sectors commending the Second Republic for an inclusive approach to development. Let's hear more.
For a province endowed with vast mineral resources and water bodies, there is concurrence among government, the business community and the general public that if the resources are utilized, Matabeleland South may become an economic giant. As such, rural district councils that attended the inaugural Matabeleland South Province Hybrid Investment Conference presented low-hanging investment fruits.
There is potential for advancement in terms of value addition.
We are inviting partners to come and have solar farms and the solar stations.
We want to invest. We want investors to come to our areas. Gone are the days where we'll be seated in the offices, just writing things, you know.
More than 50% of our irrigation schemes are not yet working in the moment, and this is a great opportunity for investors.
There are scenic sites that investors can exploit in areas to do with construction of chalets.
The business community has applauded efforts being made by the Second Republic to avail opportunities and implement the ease of doing business reforms, saying they will help the country achieve its vision of an upper middle income society by 2030.
I've been very encouraged by government. I've been very encouraged by government. The progress that has been made in the Zimbabwean government in the last 6-7 years is astounding.
I want to encourage the ladies, the youth to join in start breeding. There is a lot of money there. On average, a bull sells for $3,500. Heifers are selling at around $1,500.
The Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Honorable Evelyn Ndlovu, reaffirmed government's stance on the engagement and re-engagement drive and promoting investment.
Need to induct our children to be investors, to be the drivers of this economy. Furniture making. The furniture making business in Glenview, it's a hive of activity, including women. You find women there making furniture. But unfortunately, I have not seen that here in Matabeleland South Province.
The investment conference is running from the 4th of July to the 6th under the theme Matabeleland South Province, Unlocking New Investment Frontiers through Diaspora Community Engagement. Providence Maranelli, ZBC News, Beitbridge.
And that's all from the Montrose News Desk. I am Sibigele Maposa. Now circling back to Harare, where Tari and Justin will take us through the rest of the bulletin. Good evening.
Thank you so much, Sibukele. Welcome back, our viewers, to our Pockets Hill studios as we continue. And we now look at the significant developments for the country's healthcare system, where the Ministry of Health and Childcare has received a critical donation of medical supplies and equipment valued at over $9 million United States dollars from the Health Resilience Fund and its partners.
The
Equipment, which includes theatre anesthetic machines, theatre beds and fistula kits, is specifically targeted towards improving the quality of care provided to pregnant women, aiming to significantly reduce maternal mortality and morbidity rates. This aligns perfectly with the goals outlined in the National Health Strategy. Representatives from UNICEF and UNFPA HRF partners reaffirmed their dedication to reducing the maternal mortality rate, which currently stands at 363 per 100 live births in Zimbabwe.
HRF places a strong emphasis on sustainable and long-lasting investments. And what we are gathered here for today is a good example of such. Because we want to do a work that 2 years, 5 years down the line, we can still walk through into a health facility and point at something and say, we achieved this together.
Our support aims to strengthen the health system, to improve access to healthcare services, and reduce disparities in health outcomes for women and children in Zimbabwe.
Without supplies, without commodities, without medicines, there is no program. Without supplies, without commodities, without medicines, we cannot prevent maternal deaths. We cannot meet the unmet needs for family planning. We cannot end gender-based violence and harmful practices. And we cannot end new infections of HIV and AIDS.
The Deputy Minister of Health and Child Care, Honorable Slayman Kwidini, commended the positive impact of collaborations within the health sector.
The Health Resilient Fund is a powerful example of how strategic partnership can drive sustainable improvements in healthcare delivered, ultimately leading to better health outcomes for all.
The donated medical supplies and equipment include fistula kits, anesthetic machines, operating tables, and neonatal incubators, alongside crucial medicines. Abigail Tembo, ZBC News, Harare.
The Pan-African Parliament has called for innovative and effective ways to fight drug and substance abuse on the continent. This comes amid revelations that Africa has become a conduit for drug trafficking and abuse, with children below the age of 10 being hooked on drugs. We get more from our news editor, Ian Sharma.
It has emerged that more than 500,000 individuals were arrested for drug-related crimes in Africa between 2016 and 2021. What is even more alarming is the fact that a cumulative total of more than 200,000 tons of drugs were seized on the continent during that period, while in some African countries, children under the age of 10 are hooked on drugs.
31% of individuals that are in treatment in Africa are below 25 years. They are not in school. Honorable members of parliament, we need help. We need help. If we are not able to do anything before our tenure elapses, at least we should be able to help our youths.
The Pan-African Parliament is alive to these challenges amid calls for innovative ways and programs which focus on practical solutions.
We need to look at innovative ways to combat drug use among the youth, and we need to fight also the types of environments that lead the youth to be tempted into drug use and drug abuse.
In line with its mandate to provide a platform for discussion and decision-making on challenges facing the continent, PAP legislators are ready to play an active role in fighting drug and substance abuse in their respective countries.
It's an issue that we should put a lot of effort in it and have patience to eradicate it. The great recommendations that Honorable Laila presented should be taken into consideration, and we should work hard on achieving the best of them.
Let us trace the source and supply of substance used for drugs, internationally and domestically. Let's work with countries which are the source of the substance, push diplomatic pressure for them to cut production and supply of these substances.
Zimbabwe has enacted robust legislation such as Dangerous Drugs Act, which forms the cornerstone of our efforts to combat drug trafficking and illicit substance abuse.
The Zimbabwean government has since taken a proactive approach after coming up with various measures, including a drug master plan to deal decisively with the menace of drug and substance abuse. Ian Roma, ZBC News, Midrand.
We are off to a break. We'll return with business shortly. Stay with us.
The Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe announces a new initiative to ensure sufficient local currency in circulation. Starting June 10, swipe for Zig Cash at any HomeLink branch using your debit or credit card. Available in your Zig denominations 1, 2, 5, and 10 Zig. You can exchange your foreign currency for Zig Cash at the prevailing interbank exchange rate. The Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe is ensuring that adequate Zig Cash is available for all, be it in public transportation, retailers, informal traders, and other key stakeholders. For more information, visit your nearest HomeLink branch. Thank you.
Zimbabwe, where the sun kisses the earth, lies a world of endless opportunity. Here, amidst the vibrant colors and lively exchanges, the spirit of abundance lives. Allow yourself the opportunity to connect and innovate. See the future of your business at the 114th edition of the Zimbabwe Agricultural Show. Filled with ideas, new and radical, that are cultivating prosperity, growing business, innovating for change, and nurturing our future. From agriculture to agribusiness, and from agricultural education to agri-tourism, every sector finds a place to flourish here, where companies unveil their latest innovations and network with current and potential markets. SAS 2024, where the future of all business sectors is being written today.
Life is beautiful. Soft care. So fit, so right.
That's it. The regular football season is over.
What?
Yes, it's over. Oh no. But not for us here at SuperSport. We've got a big deal coming your way.
Sorry, that's actually a pretty big deal.
Catch all 51 games of Euro 2024. Stay connected to DSTV to watch all the action on SuperSport.
Welcome back. Various sectors of the economy are targeting to consolidate production gains and profitability in the second half of the year after a fairly good performance from January to June this year.
As the last 6 months are in motion, the mining industry has identified challenges and come up with solutions aimed at contributing more returns to overall national economic output. The Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Mines and Mining Development, Mr. Pungwa Kunaka, believes the 6 months of the year presents an opportunity for mining companies to ramp up production and maintain resilience in the face of fluctuating global commodity prices.
When we are looking at the international prices, they are also looking upwards starting from the third quarter and going into the last quarter of 2023. So by and large, we are expecting that production in the mining sector is going to firm up and the targets that we have for the year are going to be attained. We are happy that all the players and even investors are very excited. They are looking at the government being open for business.
Riding on the stability that has been witnessed since April, driven by the firming Zimbabwe gold, coupled with expansion of units, recapitalization of production plants, including self-sufficiency, the manufacturing sector is targeting import substitution systems.
We have realized steady manufacturing sector growth and contribution to our GDP, and we have now sat with industry and the manufacturing sector and agreed on a global target of a 10 billion manufacturing sector, which will see us regain lost ground as manufacturing contribution.
While the central bank and the International Monetary Fund are projecting the economy to register a 2% growth this year, the mining and manufacturing sectors are also expected to contribute positively to this year's national economic output targets. Private sector players for mining and manufacturing sector are also pinning hopes for growth on tax relief packages and measures to further boost power supplies in the mid-term budget review. Stanley James, ZBC News, Harare.
We take a break, and when we come back, we'll be giving you the sports. Stay tuned.
In today's fast-paced world, paying in Zig is not just about exchanging physical cash. It's about tapping into the electronic payment space, where convenience meets technology. On Zimbabwe's stable, safe, sound, and efficient national payment system, experience seamless transactions at your fingertips, anytime, anywhere. Join the future of payments today with Zig. Secure, reliable, effortless. Pay the smart way. Pay with Zig.
The Ministry of Local Government and Public Works has noted with concern the illegal developments through opening of roads and the sale of stands by a company identified as Pool Hill Enterprises and its agencies at Lot 2 Stum in Goromonzi between Murewa and Shamfa Roads. The public is hereby informed that the land in question is urban state land under the Ministry of Local Government and Public Works. According to Section 43 of the Regional Town and Country Planning Act, Chapter 29, the Minister of Local Government and Public Works, on behalf of His Excellency the President, Comrade Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa, has the sole authority to subdivide, lease or sell urban state land. Now therefore, the Minister hereby directs Pool Hill Enterprises and its agencies or any other unauthorized entities to stop the illegal developments and sale of stands on Lot 2 of Stum. Further, the Ministry is advising the public not to purchase the stands being advertised on Lot 2 of Stum or any other land or stands that are not authorized, as they risk losing their hard-earned money and being prosecuted for illegal take-up of urban state land. Law enforcement agencies and other stakeholders are hereby advised to take appropriate action as per their respective mandates.
High-quality alcohol-free red common bricks for sale at affordable prices. Visit Dow Bricks at Chikurubi Prison Farm, Harare. We are also recruiting salespeople.
Welcome back. It's now time for the sports news. Zimbabwe have been drawn in a tricky Group J of the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers alongside giants Cameroon, improving Kenya and Southern Africa rivals Namibia in a draw held this Thursday.
The Warriors have a debt against five-time African champions Cameroon, who headline a tricky Group J in the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifier. Zimbabwe have struggled against the West African giants, winning only 3 times in 11 meetings between the two sides. It doesn't get any better for the Warriors, as they are also set to face Kenya, a side they've only beaten once in 12 meetings, and that was way back in 1985 when Zimbabwe won the CECAFA Cup. Zimbabwe have a short travel against regional rivals Namibia, who are evidently on the upper and ranked higher than the Warriors. The top two teams from the 12 groups will qualify for the 2025 AFCON tournament that will be held in Morocco. The first two matches of the qualifiers will be held between the 2nd and the 10th of September. Lawrence Trusida, ZBC News, Harare.
Now in other news, Zimbabwe has named a strong squad with a blend of youth and experience for the Rugby Africa Cup slated for Uganda from the 19th to the 28th of this month.
The Sables technical department led by Pete Bernard has named an exciting squad headlined by scrum of Ian Pryor, who plays for the Western Force in Australia. A lot of coaches have tried in the past to get the talented scrum half who plays in the Super Rugby to be part of the squad without any luck. But Pete Bernard seems to have convinced him to represent his country. Tinotenda Blathmouse turns out for the Sharks in South Africa is another big name in the squad. The former Chechu High School student missed the last Africa Cup through injury, but has recovered and claimed his place in the Sharks side. South African-based Tapiwa Mafura, as well as Tabani Maguranyanga, Victor Mpunga, Clepas Kunduan and Tapiwa Somondo, who all play in France, are notable additions to the local contingent. The squad also sees a welcome return to national team colours for utility back Brandon Muzakanyadze, who's based in New Zealand. Muzakanyadze last featured for Zimbabwe 2 years ago after falling out with then coach Brandon Dawson. The technical team has also seen a lot of respected consultants coming in to assist the Sables, one of them being World Cup winner Get Small, who has been taking the team through their paces.
Let's make it a special month, because we only have a month to do something special. Okay, so it's going to mean that we work hard and we play hard as well.
The squad also has exciting youngsters like Takuzwa Msingwini, John Komalo, Brian Chiang, and Simbasi Raha, who won the Bates Trophy at under-20 level. Zimbabwe is expected to play Harare and Bulawayo select sides before departing for Kampala on the 17th of July. The Sables take on host Uganda on the 20th of this month in their first match of the 2024 Rugby Africa Cup. Lawrence Truseda, ZBC News, Harare.
Rising sprinter David Nyamufarira is looking forward to participating at the World Athletics Junior Championships to be held in Peru next month.
Sprint athlete David Nyamufarira, a product of the National Sports Academy, is preparing in earnest for the forthcoming World Junior Championships set for Peru from the 27th to the 31st of August. Nyamufarira made the qualifying time in February after coming first at the AGN track and field event in South Africa.
I qualified for the 100 meters and the 200 meters. My PB was 10.44 for the 100 meters and 21.19 for the 200 meters.
National Sports Academy coach Cuthbert Nyasango is happy their training regime is bearing results.
Biggest goal yedu atinayo so far, we are preparing to be in the finals. Zvatinoziva ndezvekuti mwana akapinda mafinals, there is my chances ekuti awite medal, they are very high kana ari finals, so ndo target yedu atinayo pari zvinezvi.
Apart from Nyasango, David also has a Cuban coach attached to the National Sports Academy, headquartered at Pindura University of Science Education, and the coaches are drilling him daily to secure a medal in the Junior Championships. Nyamufarira has already represented Zimbabwe at the African Union Sports Council Region 5 Youth Games. He will be one of the 8 athletes that have qualified for the World Junior Championships, a record for the country, as their previous best was 3 athletes. Tapiwa Machemedze, ZBC News, Pindura.
World champions India have been forced to make 3 changes to their squad that will face Zimbabwe in 5 T20 matches beginning this Saturday at the Harare Sports Club.
The Board of Control for Cricket in India, BCCI, announced 3 changes to India's squad for the 5-match T20 series against Zimbabwe. The trio of Sai Sudarshan, Jitesh Sharma and Harshit Rana have been added to the roster for the first 2 matches as replacements for Sanju Samson, Shivam Dube and Yashav Jaisawal, who are still in Barbados. Originally slated to join the Zimbabwe-bound squad for the upcoming 5-match T20 series starting on Saturday, the trio will travel to India first with the rest of the ICC T20 World Cup winning Indian squad before departing for Harare. Samson, Dube and Jaisawal couldn't fly out earlier from Barbados as a hurricane shut down airport at the island nation. Talented batter Shubman Gill will lead the young Indian side that has seen some veterans retire after the World Cup triumph, while others are being arrested. The BCCI has rewarded the likes of Riyan Parag, Abhishek Sharma for their impressive showing in the 2024 Indian Premier League. The 5-match series rose into to life at the Saturday at Harare Sports Club before the two teams meet a day later for the second T20. Meanwhile, Zimbabwe Cricket has finalized the appointment of a new coaching staff for the Chevrons following the announcement last month of Justin Simmons as the head coach and Giono Ibrahim as a batting coach. A former South African international, Shao Langeveld, has been named as the bowling coach, while Rafish Gobin will be the strategic performance coach, and Kettle Diesel are coming in as strength and conditioning coach. Short Matsikinyeri has been retained, although he now assumes the role of fielding coach. However, ZC is yet to appoint a team manager. Lawrence Truseda, ZBC News, Harare.
It's now time for us to give you the weather report.
Good evening, viewers, and welcome to today's weather report and forecast. My name is Baba Maketa. It was very cold in the morning in most parts of the country, with elevated areas such as Harare, Matopos, Henderson, as well as Nyanga recording some moderate to slight ground frost in the morning. As the day progressed, however, we saw temperatures rising to the warm category due to clear skies. Tomorrow, the same situation is expected. It is supposed to be cold in the morning, becoming warm in the afternoon. Some ground frosts are also expected over elevated areas. For the temperatures in detail, expecting Harare to have a minimum of 6 degrees Celsius in the morning and a maximum of 25, Bulawayo 8 and 28, Gweru 1 and 25, Mutare 8 and 27, Kwekwe a minimum of 4 and a maximum of 29, Kaduma 5 and 28, Masingo should start off at 4 in the morning to record a maximum of 27 in the afternoon, Chinoi 7 and 29, Lupane 3 and 31, Bindura 6 and 27, Marundera a minimum of 5 and a maximum of 24, Gwanda a minimum of 6 and a maximum of 29 degrees Celsius in the afternoon. In our major holiday resort areas, Victoria Falls is expected to be sunny and warm with a minimum of 8 in the morning and a maximum of 28 in the afternoon. Kariba 12 and 30, Great Zimbabwe 4 and 27, Nyanga 1 and 20, Matopos a minimum of 1 and a maximum of 26, Shimanimani a minimum of 11 and a maximum of 23. In our outlook, that is the weather for the day after tomorrow, we're expecting it again to be sunny throughout the country and temperatures should be low in the morning with chances of ground frost in elevated areas. That is all from the Weather Desk Zimbabwe. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your viewing.
And that's the way of the weather from all of us here. Say good night.
Good night.